You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Good morning, Yankees universe, and welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, December 5th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my compañero this morning. I got the lovely Grace Monroe, and all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Grace, how are you doing?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Absolutely.
I'm good. I don't know why I just got so hyper for like the last 10 seconds, but I'm good. I'm ready for Juan Soto to sign. Gosh darn it. I'm so tired of talking about the same talking points. We're going to try to take some new angles today, y'all. We're going to try to, stay as current as we possibly can with the Soto drama. We've got some insight. We've got some opinions. So definitely hang around. But we got more to talk about than Soto. But it's great to be here with you, Hector. And, I have some breaking news right now in my ear. Sources are telling me that Hector is headed to Texas.
Yes, I will be in Texas.
Can confirm. Okay, it is happening, people. Hector and I will be together, united, down here in the friendly state, Texas. Yeehaw! And I'm gonna get your boys some Texas barbecue. We're gonna show out, and so stay tuned. The Texas adventure is going to commence at the winter meetings.
Yes. I'm gonna need some good Texas food. I'm gonna need some nice, good Texas lemonade, and I heard they always go big in Texas, so I'll be looking forward to that, Grace. And shout out to everybody that's in the building. It's Thursday, December 5th. The rumor mill, it keeps giving us the rumors when it comes to Juan Soto and when it comes to Major League Baseball. But this is probably one of my favorite times of the off season or of the baseball season in general is the winter meetings. The winter meetings is upon us. It is next week. Literally a few days until I'm on a plane going to Texas, like Grace said, but we will be coming and giving you content every day next week, right? I will be going live every day while I'm at the winter meetings in the morning. In the nighttime, I will be doing some streams with our friend Jason over there on the 161 River Avenue channel. Grace will be joining me as well. Damien will be joining me as well. I'm gonna have some interviews. We got some special guests lined up for next week. So guys, make sure you guys tune in. Like I said, every morning and every night next week, you'll have some Yanks Morning Brew because we'll be covering the winter meetings, right? You see me in the Airbnb or you see me at the hotel out there. Maybe Jeff Passan or one of those guys will walk by and we get some words with them, right? But before we continue, let's shout out the chat. One of the best chats that are out there on YouTube. Shout out to my guy, Theo Anthony Medina in the building. Anthony Medina, how you doing? My guy, Cheesy Showcase says, my cousins are all over Corpus Christi. Amazing area. Yo, Cheesy, you got some lines or some good eats? I need to get me some good food while I'm down there. FL Diver is in the building. How you doing? Tina's in the building. Good morning. My guy Jacob Petruzzi is in the building. How you doing? Jorge Herrera's in the building. Kevin NYC, salute. 3 capital S's. Richie Squires is in the building. Theo AA is in the building like always. AA says, salute Hector, Grace, and the panel. Hope all is well. Hector, hope your travel is blessed, my brother. You're getting the Grace Monroe effect live. I hope God bless your time together. Absolutely, AA, and appreciate you like always. Eddie Snaps is in the building. Anna Marie, Sarah Shamel as well. If I pronounce your name wrong, I do apologize, folks. We got over 150 people in the building rocking with us. If you guys can, smack the like button and hit that subscribe button. And getting into it, we got to get into the Juan Soto rumors, right? Because this is the thing that's hot off the press. I got a video from Jeff Passan. I'm going to play this video, and then Grace and I will come back to break it down.
At this point, we don't know who the favorites are. The New York Mets have been near the top the whole time. The Yankees, of course, the incumbent team, the Boston Red Sox, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Los Angeles Dodgers all still in it. The expectation is that there will be meetings over the weekend, and it's that point Juan Soto will decide where he's going to go, and we will know at latest by the time the winter meetings in Dallas start. But at this point...
So it seems like it's going to come down to the next few days. And when that breaking news happen, make sure your notification bell is on. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because myself and Grace Monroe will be popping up and we'll be going live to cover the Juan Soto drama. Now, finally, it will be over, right? Finally, it will be over, Grace, because this is something we have been talking about ever since the end of the World Series. It was literally the Dodgers won, champagne was popped, the parade happened, and we got into the Juan Soto drama. So, Grace, I'll toss it over to you. Let's get your breakdown when it comes to Jeff Passan saying that over the next few days, the decision will happen.
I think, I do think, and as we talked about last time, that we thought that the decision would be right before or right at the beginning of the winter meetings. And it sounds like that is exactly what the timeline is looking like, according to Jeff Passan, who is one of the most trusted sources, if not the most trusted source in MLB scoops. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to come, it's going to happen. And I just wanted to say, where is Uncle Steve Cohen just throwing around his money like everybody said he was going to? Where is Steve Cohen saying, oh, everybody else is over 600 million? How about 800 million? Because that's what the Mets fans said he was going to do. This could all be over by now. How come it's not over by now? How come Steve Cohen isn't just swinging it? You know what I mean? Like, because that's not real, y'all. That's not real. And even according to Jeff Passan, the Yankees are still extremely favored in this negotiation. Like, they're at the top, maybe with another team, maybe with the Mets, but they're not down here. They're still way up here. So we're still in there. Cohen obviously has the ability to say, I'm going to pay you $1 billion and nobody can match it, but he hasn't done it.
Yeah, and that's what people have to understand, right? Anna Marie, I see you with the 650 million. Shout out to Anna Marie in the building as well. Nathaniel Cranshaw as well. Folks, if you're on Instagram, shout out to the Instagram chat. We got Ace over there. Gene Fitzmatrix in the building. Hit Squad is in the building on Instagram. Click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube. But when you look at the 650 million that Anna Marie just put in the chat, 700 million from the Mets, 650 million from the Yankees. Even though the Mets, they have the figure that's a lot more, the 700 million, $650 million from the Yankees. When you include everything that you can make off the field, it's still more than the 700 million you can get from the Mets. If you're attached to the name, to the brand recognition of the New York Yankees, once you sign that contract for the next 10, 12, 15 years, the sponsorship money that you're going to get, the off the field brand deals that you're going to get, all these deals, they are worth more as a New York Yankee, as opposed to being either a Met or either a Red Sox. And when you see all these rumors that popped up on Twitter over the past few days, and all these Red Sox insiders, everybody said that, oh, I know somebody that says Juan Soto is going to sign with the Red Sox. Oh, did you guys see that Juan Soto's sister is going apartment hunting in Boston, right? She never travels with him. Maybe this is a sign. This is the one thing I want to say. To all you so-called Red Sox insiders that are out there on Twitter who are trying to break the stories, God bless you. If you could break them, if you get this right, if you're the one that gets this right about Juan Soto signing with the Red Sox, God bless you. The only thing that I ask you is do it again. You got to do it again. You can't just break one story. You got to break another one, right? Because all these Red Sox insiders that have all this information, they know everything that's going on at Big Papi's house in the Dominican Republic. Not one of them had Aroldis Chapman signing with the Boston Red Sox. Not one of them mentioned that Aroldis Chapman was going to sign with the Boston Red Sox. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to say, right after we lost the World Series, we had a pod, a very depressing episode. And I said, I feel like Juan Soto is gone. And I really meant it at the time. And I will say that today, sitting here today, I have not felt this confident that the Yankees were going to sign him. Now, I'm not saying that I believe the Yankees are going to sign him, and that's my prediction. But I'm saying I haven't felt as much that we had a shot as I do today. And that's because Fine Sand, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Fine Sand?
Yeah, Fine Sand. Yeah, you got it right.
Okay. Fine Sand. I don't want to be too Texas, but It is my nature. But yeah, he said that yesterday that the Yankees will be Boras's last and final call.
Yeah.
And so I said, oh, it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why business relationships are so important to maintain. For example, the business relationship between Brian Cashman and Scott Boras that has been happening for many years, that he has established over a long period of time. Steve Cohen does not have that relationship with Scott Boras yet. He's still new on the block. He's still, building it up. Cashman has a reputation with Boras. He signed many of his clients in the past.
Many.
He has made this man a lot of money, okay? To have this opportunity for Boras to say, you know what? You're a good guy to me. I'm a good guy to you. You're going to be the last call. That is huge. That is huge leverage. It can't be bought. That is something that is earned. And Cashman has earned that relationship with Boras. And so because we have the last swing, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, we're going to be at bat.
Yeah.
So it's in our control. Now, I don't know what Hal's going to do. I don't know what Cashman's going to do. But we are going to be at the plate. And that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. And
so that gives me confidence.
And to piggyback off of your statement, right? It's up to Scott Boras to have good relationships, not only with the New York Yankees and Brian Cashman, but with every organization that is out there. And the last thing that Scott Boras wants to do is spurn an MLB team and not let his free agent go back to negotiate with them being the original team that he comes from. Right. So it's up to Scott Boras to maintain these good relationships with whatever team. It's not just our Yankee bias that is saying that Scott Boras is going to come back to the Yankees and give the Yankees the final offer. Scott Boras, as an agent, that's something that you should be doing because you want to maintain good relationships with every other organization that is out there, because you don't want to have bad relationships when you have free agents next offseason, or you don't want to have bad relationships. Say, like, God forbid, Juan Soto signs with another team. You didn't go back to the Yankees, and now the Yankees don't want to talk to you about whatever other free agents you got, Pete Alonso, Corbin Burns, et cetera, right? So it's up to Scott Boras to maintain some proper relationships, right?
Absolutely. And that gives him, I was just going to say, that is why you hire Boras as a client. You say, this guy has a special relationship with the Dodgers. This guy has a special relationship with the Yankees. He's got a hotline to the best, most rich owners in MLB. That's why I want him to be my agent. That's why I want him to represent me. So these are, that's important to Boras. Like, just to piggyback off what you were saying, it's important for him to maintain these relationships. Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to my guy I-95 Bully with the 199 super chat. Hector and Grace, the A-team. Absolutely, Bully. I hope all is well. Shout out to you. Shout out to my guy Danny N in the building. Interesting that minority Yankee owner Patrick Bet-David, PBD, was tweeting about Juan Soto's worth. Interesting. And I'm glad that you brought that up, Danny. Shout out to Danny. Also, thank you for the super chat. If you guys drop the super chats, they get priority when it comes to the chat. But I'm going to leave that up right there, because when you look at the value of Juan Soto adds a value that some folks out there in the media just doesn't understand, right? When you look at Juan Soto as a Dominican player, Juan Soto, it is widely recognized in the Dominican community that Juan Soto is the best Dominican hitter that is out there in Major League Baseball. Everybody believes in the Dominican community that Fernando Tatis is the overall best player that is Dominican out there in Major League Baseball, but it is well recognized that Juan Soto, it is the best hitter out there when you look at Dominican baseball players. When you factor in his age, when you factor in the fact that he won a World Series when he was a teenager, he replaced Bryce Harper, who was the face of the franchise, who was the face of Major League Baseball next to Mike Trout. Let's be honest, when he became a free agent, he replaced them. He didn't miss a step. And he helped that national team get to a World Series as a teenager. So to hear people online, to hear folks on WFAN, media heads and so-called experts saying that Juan Soto is not a generational talent, that is something that makes no sense to me. If you want to say that this person is not worth X amount of dollars, or that person is not worth X amount of dollars, I can understand that argument. Great. But to say Juan Soto is not generational, that is a form of mental gymnastics that I just can't get behind and support. Because how can you say that somebody who is 26-year-old, who is in conversations with Ted Williams, Mickey Mantle, Barry Bonds, some of the greats to ever do it, and you say he's not generational? That's something I can't understand.
Absolutely. I mean, he's demonstrated it through multiple statistics so far in his career, but pertinent to the Yankees more than anything, perhaps in a contract acquisition, is that whenever we sign someone, we're always taking a risk. The risk being obviously health. Every team has that, but the Yankees have a unique risk, and that is, can you do it in New York City? Yes. Can you handle the Bronx? Can you handle the lights, the pressure? The pinstripes are heavy, is what we always say, right? Juan Soto came in and never faltered, ever. He stepped right in to the top of the order, top of the lineup, most pressure, and was on from day one. Not only did he put up his best offensive year to date, but he performed in clutch situations. So not only did he have the regular pressure of being a New York Yankee, which is considerate, but he performed in the pressure situations of being clutch on top of the pressure of being a New York Yankee. I mean, that in and of itself is worth how much to the Yankees? Because now in the contract negotiations, they are looking at a player who has already proven that he can handle New York, that he can have an incredible year, incredible production, and he did it with the most pressure. Contract year, World Series. Yes. I mean, Bronx, batting in front of Aaron Judge. I mean, whatever you want to say, this guy's done it. Like you said, he won the World Series at 19. He has never given us any pause. That is worth so much money to the Yankees, because any other guy you want to talk about, Willie Adames, you want to talk about Santander, you want to talk about, I don't know, Correa, you want to talk any of these other guys that people are kind of talking about. They haven't done it in New York, and it's a risk. It's a risk. Anytime you get somebody, you don't know how they're going to perform in New York. But we know Juan Soto is good. That is worth money.
Yeah, he's already done it in New York, Grace. To your point, he's already done it this season. We've seen what he could do in New York. We see that Juan Soto drives in that pressure. These are the moments that Juan Soto lives for. So why, when you have a player that lives for these type of special moments, that has the ability to turn the game around instantly with his offense, is Juan Soto going to win you some Gold Gloves? No. He is not the best defensive right fielder that is out there probably to play Major League Baseball. Will Juan Soto potentially move to another position as he gets older? Maybe he becomes a full-time DH. Maybe he transitions to first base like my guy, LA Yankee King, has been screaming on Yankees Twitter for the past few months that he wants to see. Maybe that would happen. But as of right now, he is a 26-year-old. He is a right fielder. He plays above average Major League defense, but the offense that he would bring you, the only other players that you could compare to Juan Soto offensively is Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. And you want to let him walk away because defensively you're not sold on him? That makes no sense to me. Yeah, it makes no sense. How can you say that we can get better? This team get better by losing Juan Soto. I know we got a few super chats I want to get to real quick. Big Ant NYC with the $5 super chat. Thank you for helping us keep the lights on. Big Ant says, what's going on, familia? Representing Bayamon, Puerto Rico, my guy, Big Ant. Any truth for the rumor Yankees might be offering Freed a deferred contract? We'll get to that. Big Ant, thank you for the $5 super chat. We'll get to that. We'll get to the whole deferred contract conversation. We have over 305 people watching us collectively. If you guys can, please smack the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Instagram, on Twitter, click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube. We have over 80 people on YouTube. So if you guys can, smack the like button. Let's try to get to 100 likes on the stream. My guy I-95 Bully with another $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Bully. The OPS plus the whiff rate, the on-base percentage, the war for Juan Soto is worth his weight in gold. Absolutely, bully. Absolutely. And I heard people try to nitpick and say, oh, but he's not a 300 hitter. Juan Soto last year, he hit over 300 for majority of the season. It wasn't until August when he hit under 200 and he hit 250 or 260 in September that brought his batting average to the 280s. So for majority of the season, Juan Soto hit well over 300. It wasn't until the last 2 months of the season he started to come down. But if it wasn't for Juan Soto, you guys saw it was a 6-4 game difference between the Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles for the AL East. First place in the AL East. We saw the struggles of Aaron Judge in that first month of the season, Grace. That was something we talked about heavily on the show. If Juan Soto struggled the same way Aaron Judge struggled in that first month of the season, you can't tell me that the Baltimore Orioles don't take the division. You can't tell me that right there doesn't make up the 4 to 6 game difference between the Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles, because I definitely think it does. How about you, Grace?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I think we all need to remember is when he unfortunately brought his batting average down there, I guess, he was still working walks and getting on base, and he was still scoring runs because Aaron Judge was driving him in. That's when Aaron Judge really got hot and started kind of semi-chasing his own home run record, and we were all like, hold on, is he gonna hit 63? I mean, we were talking about it. So he was still contributing in a major way. He never stopped contributing last year, period. Right. Yeah. So whether he was hitting or walking or, whatever, he was a great clubhouse guy. I mean, he's awesome. We got to sign him. That's it. Facts. There's no plan B.
I want to shout out my guy Los in the building from Yankees Farm. Los, my guy, how you guys doing? Listen, if you guys want the inside scoop when it comes to your Yankees prospects, you got to follow my guy Los from Yankees Farm. Los from Yankee Farm, it is the #1 Yankee content creator when it comes to covering our system, when it comes to covering our prospects. My guy Los knows about the kids that are 10, 11, 12 years old before they even on the scene. So shout out to my guy Los. Always a great human being, always a great person whenever I see him in person. Shout out to my guy Los. I look forward to seeing you in spring training. But we got somebody else backstage. Somebody that was gone for a few days, a few episodes. We miss him, so we got to bring him up because we know everybody else in the chat miss him as well. The fly guy, Damien Serrano. Damien, how you doing?
I'm good. Good morning, guys. How we at? Chat? Miss you guys. How you guys doing? It's Soto week, right? So let's talk Soto, right?
Let's gotta do it. Go ahead, bro.
So much nonsense out there. I had to turn WFAN off yesterday. Listen, BT, you're terrible. For once, Sal had a better take than BT. That's how bad it was, right? And then, I'm listening to the callers call in. I'm like, listen, why call if you know nothing about sports? It's a waste of time. You're making yourself sound real uneducated when it comes to this matter. So, the narrative I've heard lately is, just take that money and get 5 players, right?
Yeah.
4 players, whatever the case is, fill the voids, the teams. And number one, you can't replace Soto. He's irreplaceable. Number one. Number two, people don't realize, they think they look at this big number, 600 million, 615. Take that 615 million and just, spread it around. Well, the fact is that 615 million equivalates to $47 to $50 million a year, which in all reality, what are you going to get with that? 2 or 3 players max. And that 2 or 3 players max is about $15 million per player. TC, my brother. And that's like $15 million max per player. What are you going to get nowadays for $15 million in MLB? You're going to get a DJ LeMahieu.
Oh, God, I knew you were going to say that.
So, for that narrative, people understand something. Understand something. That money, can only be spread around realistically tops 2 players. And listen, 2 players is not going to fill the void offensively for Mr. Juan Soto.
Yeah.
So obviously there's always a plan B, but my heart to heart says Soto wants to be a Yankee. He's going to stay a Yankee. The foolproof plan of trading for him, bringing him to New York, allowing him to experience what it is to be a Yankee has worked. And now Hal just has to put up his money, which I think Hal is going to do. And fact is, I believe come Monday, they're going to announce Soto is a a Yankee, because the fact of the matter is Scott Boras is going to wait to the winter meetings. He wants to make that big splash. It's his prized possession, Juan Soto, and he got none of the prized possessions last year signed. So Boras is waiting for the winter meetings. Guys, Soto, the Yankees, Mets, everybody else, plan B from that point on.
Shout out to Danny N as well with the 199 super chat. Danny, I see you in the chat. Soto put up an 8.1 WAR. Come on, apps. And that's with him playing horrible defense. He had a WAR over 8 with horrible defense. How can we say we do not want this young man? Damien, you hit it right on the head. Some of the Yankee fans that are out there, some of the takes that are out there, I get it, right? Because ain't nothing to see right now. There's no news that's coming out. So like Grace said, we're trying to come up with something. We're trying to come up with a conversation for y'all. And I'll throw it over to Grace after I make this point. I've been saying this, right? It's going to come down to the winter meetings, because when you look at it, Scott Boras, he's a showman at the end of the day. He wants to put on a show. On top of getting his guys the big money, he loves the cameras. He loves to be in front of the cameras. I'm going to ask both of you guys, during baseball off season, when are all the eyes, all the cameras on Major League Baseball? The winter meetings. And that's when all the eyes and cameras are going to be focused in on Juan Soto, and that's when it's going to happen. I'll throw it over to you, Grace, to get your take on the convo. Folks in the chat, we got over 400 people watching us collectively, over 112 people watching us on YouTube. Smack the like button. We're at 43 likes. We could get to 100 likes, so just smack that like button. If not, Grace is not going to say no more y'alls, right, y'all? Go ahead, Grace.
like I have a choice.
No more y'alls for the y'alls.
Out of my vocabulary. I think it's a really good chance that it's going to be at the first day of the winter meetings, because that would be, like Damien said, the most eyes on you, and like Hector said, the most eyes on MLB. So he wants to grab the headlines. He's going to grab the headlines. He's going to do it at the most opportune time. But then he wants to create buzz for all of his other clients as well. He wants to get the ball rolling. And so I think that that's the best way to do it. It's probably what's going to happen. Damien, I want to say it's great to have you back. We missed you so much. And you're looking great as usual. And I also wanted to piggyback on what you were saying, y'all. I woke up this morning. See, I said y'all just randomly. It didn't even make sense in the sentence. I woke up this morning and I swear my first thought was, la, 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 DJ LeMahieu. And I swear, y'all, I thought, what if we traded DJ LeMahieu to the Cubs back for Cody Bellinger? Because I looked up their salary this morning. Cody Bellinger is set to make $27 million. DJ LeMahieu is 15, so they're looking to dump some salary. We're looking to dump DJ LeMahieu. What if we sent DJ LeMahieu, took on Cody Bellinger? Maybe we'd have to send maybe a prospect or two as well, or something.
Big time prospects. We would have to send big time prospects. Big time.
But the Cubs are trying to dump salary, which it would do for them, and they're not really looking to make a deep run next year. They're wanting to build. So I'm just saying, everybody's talking about getting Marcus Stroman off, moving him off. And I get it. He's the 6th starter probably now. Yeah. But in my opinion, Stroman is still giving us at least something. He's an innings eater, if nothing else. DJ LeMahieu ain't giving us nothing. So I'm like, we need to be talking about where we can send DJ LeMahieu. Seriously,
I just want to let you know, LA Yankee King is fucking living right now. He is so happy with that take, Grace. That is LA Yankee King has been saying this for the past month and a half.
Years.
Shout out my guy, LA Yankee King. When it's a great hypothetical that you bring up. Like Lo said, send them to the moon. Absolutely. Spinning Mantis says no one is going to take DJ, and I agree with Spinning Mantis.
Somebody has to.
When you look at it, right, value wise, Marcus Stroman, he still gives you a little bit of value. So he's more realistic to go in a trade than DJ LeMahieu if you're not adding on any top prospects like a Spencer Jones or a Jason Dominguez. So when you look at the value that Marcus Stroman has, 150 innings at 18 million a season, that is the market for that type of pitcher who can pitch you 150 innings. Maybe had a bloated ERA in the 4s, but also Marcus Stroman, we understand that this Yankees team was not the best team defensively. We understand that. But it showed more when Marcus Stroman was on the mound. When Marcus Stroman was on the mound, the New York Yankees were the worst fielding team in Major League Baseball. Gleyber Torres, the majority of his errors happened when Marcus Stroman was the starting.
They did him dirty.
So he was the victim of bad Yankee defense. So when you look at Marcus Stroman's numbers, the ERA may be bloated to you, but when you look at the inning he gives you, he could get you 150 innings. He started coming apart down the line because of injuries. It is what it is. But for a starting pitcher, 150 innings, 18 million, he has more value than a DJ LeMahieu. So I can see him being dealt over DJ, unless you're going to give them Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez also.
But he also has that value to us. So if we have to keep one of them, I'd rather keep the one that is going to contribute. I hear what you're saying, Hector. In order to trade someone, they need to have value.
They have some type of value.
Right. I hear you. You're right. But I'm thinking, in order for us to keep them, they got to have some type of value.
I think the Yankees are just going to have to cut DJ LeMahieu. They may have to just claim him for insurance money and just cut him. Damien, I want to toss it over to you because I got another video that I want to play from Big Papi, and we'll get back to the Soto conversation. Shout out to my guy El Don Chicario in the building.
Don, what up, brother?
Roberto, my guy. Go ahead.
A couple things to touch on. Listen. The winter meetings the last couple years have been trash. They've been a snooze fest. So best believe Rob Manfred sat down with Scott Boras and said, hey, listen, if you got the Soto deal done, great. Let's start it off on Monday. That's going to create the biggest snowball effect in the world when it comes to the MLB. Everybody from that point, all right, we're going to sign Adames. We're going to sign this person, trade this person. It's going to go down that entire week. It's going to be what the MLB always wants it to be, their prized position, the winter meetings. So that's for one. When it comes to DJ, unfortunately, DJ is going to have to be a victim of the Aaron Hicks situation. This is the last season that we pay Hicks. So now DJ will slide into that Aaron Hicks situation, and now we'll pay Hicks off. And now DJ, you get DFA'd. We'll pay the rest of your contract off for the next couple of years.
Bingo.
Marcus Stroman, perfect trade candidate. Obviously, the Yankees have an interest in Walker Buehler. They have an interest in Max Fried. I'm taking either of those guys any day of the week above all as Marcus Stroman. Frankie Montas has got $17 million, had an ERA of over 4. Marcus Stroman right around the same.
Who signed Frankie? wait. I forgot to finish up. Who signed Frankie Montas? Who signed him?
Yeah, of course, the Mets.
Okay. I just wanted to.
The New York Yankees / Mets, as they love to do.
They love it.
They just love to do it. So if Montas got $17 million, best believe there's a market for Marcus Stroman. Yeah, we'll probably have to eat a little bit of money, but I'll bring Walker Buehler in. I'll bring Max Fried in. That is a very real possibility. In order for us to get other players, we have to make trades. Because once that Juan Soto contract comes into effect, if it comes into effect, then the Yankees might have maybe $15 million, $20 million tops to play with in order to sign guys. So the trade market has to come into effect, get money off the books, eat some of Marcus's money, trade him, bring in Fried or bring in Walker Buehler, whichever one you want to do. I'll take them either. I'll take either one of them. And I think Walker Buehler has a lot to prove. Get him on a 1-year deal, see what he has. If he shows what he has, Yankees have $80 million coming off the books next season. You go ahead and re-sign Walker Buehler if he shows he can be the Walker Buehler of the past. So that's that for that. So let's go. See you later, DJ. Let's DFA you. Don't want to see you on the field. Listen, I love DJ. What he did for this team during the home run against the Astros, so on and so forth. So listen, DJ's always been a class A. Yankee personified. Never griped. Took every bullet, every bow and arrow that they shot at him, and never said a word. He doesn't say much anyway. But
he came in as a utility man. He was supposed to be a utility guy that didn't play every day. He turned from that into a guy who won a batting title with the New York Yankees, who was top 5 when it comes to batting average the year before his first year with the New York Yankees. So shout out to DJ LeMahieu, right? But again, Father Time is going to catch up to you. Injuries are going to catch up to you. I wish you the best. I'll be starting the DJ LeMahieu Yankeeography while he's packing his bags and getting out of here. And as the team gets a little bit better, I want to shout out some more people before I drop the next video. Shout out to Old Sarge in the building. Old Sarge, how you doing? Nathaniel has a birthday coming tomorrow, so drop the happy birthdays for our friend Nathaniel in the chat.
Happy birthday, Nathaniel.
Radnu Azadar, RA says the Yankees need to make sure they don't lose out on keeping Juan Soto as they did with Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the sweepstakes last year. Absolutely, my guy. And Los from Yankees Farm makes a great point. The signing may happen before the winter meetings because Scott Boras whiffed last year. He got to get Soto out the way. He can focus on getting his other guys paid as well. That is a great point. Los, we got over 150 people on YouTube watching us. We're sitting at 55 likes. Folks, if you guys can, smack that like button and hit that subscribe button. We got over 450 people watching us collectively. So I'm going to play this video. This is a video from David Ortiz. I have the subtitles on talking about Juan Soto and how important he is. Go ahead.
Un pelotero latino o dominicano que tenga mejor perfil para pertenecer a esa organización que Juan Soto. Ahora usted, un muchacho que tiene una formación increíble. Tiene make-up. Con el make-up, tú sabes, como el body language, su formación, porque dicho sea de paso, ese muchacho viene de una formación extrema. O sea, este es el punto todavía que Juan Soto vive con su mamá, en la casa de su mamá. ¿Tú me entiendes? Etcétera, etcétera, etcétera. Ahora, si los Yankees se la beben y no lo filman, yo le voy a decir la verdad, hay jugadores que tienen el poder de cambiar un equipo. Y ese muchacho ha cambiado ese equipo.
And that's from David Ortiz saying that. He said if the Yankees mess up and they don't sign this man, there are some players that have the power to change your organization. And David Ortiz is saying Juan Soto has that power, right? There's a reason why that there's rumors about Juan Soto going to the Boston Red Sox, right? Saying that he grew up a Yankee and a Red Sox fan because of the Dominican influence and with the Boston Red Sox. And then you got Robinson Cano with the Yankees. The Yankees, this is a crucial moment for the New York Yankees organization. You cannot let this young man go and sign with another team. You lose the next few generations of young baseball fans coming up. You lose the next generation of young Dominican baseball players that say, you know what? I want to sign with the Yankees because Juan Soto was with the Yankees. Juan Soto jersey is retired with the Yankees. Juan Soto history is connected to the New York Yankees. When you look at the Yankees and all of our 27 championships and all of the Hall of Famers that we have, Damien, I'm going to ask you a question. Of any of the Dominican Hall of Famers that are in the Hall of Fame right now, which one of them are Yankees?
Not one.
Not one.
Not one.
Out of all the numbers that are retired in Monument Park, which one of them is a Dominican person?
Not one. Soto will be the first.
When have the Yankees, the last time the Yankees had a Dominican player or a former Dominican player as a bench coach was Luis Sojo, right? And when the Yankees traded Luis Sojo away, what happened? Mariano Rivera's wife went to Brian Cashman and said, you don't understand how important that man is to the team. You need to go and get him back because he is that important to the clubhouse.
Absolutely.
And this is something that the Yankees cannot fumble the bag on when you talk about the Dominican influence in Major League Baseball, right? I'm working on a proposal right now, but you guys don't understand the spending power of the Latino community. It's a $5 trillion industry. $5 trillion. And the New York Yankees, they don't have one player retired that is Dominican. They don't have one player in their Monument Park that is Dominican. And the Yankees cannot fumble this bag when you look at the Dominican community.
Listen, we know the Steinbrenner family. The name has its own legacy, right? From George. But this signing is Hal's legacy on the line. Not George's, not Hank's. Not the sister. This is Hal's legacy, not Brian Cashman, because we all know this signing will go under Hal, not Brian, not Fishman, not anybody else other than one person, Hal Steinbrenner. So this is his legacy on the line. With that being said, Hal knows how much money he brought in last season. Hal knows every seat in the ballpark was filled. Hal knows the jersey sales. He knows. Listen, when Hal Steinbrenner came out and said, we have the ability to sign any player we want, we all know that already. But Hal's saying that because of the money and that just came in from this past season. Not only from the ticket sales, not only from obviously the playoff revenues, World Series revenues. How almost forgot the amount of money it brought in because it's been so long since we've been in there. So he understands at the end of the day, it's the bottom line when it comes to the money and the business part of it. Not necessarily the player, but the bottom line of the business. And the bottom line of the business is kind of like JC said, right? Juan Soto, he's a businessman. He's a businessman. Like literally, he's a business. So for those people who are out there constantly talking about, he's not a marketing darling like Shohei, blase, blase, blah. Listen, tell the New York Yankees that and tell them to tell you the difference between 23 season, 24 season, and the money. Because I tell you what, I guarantee you, it's 3-4 times the amount that they made the prior season.
Absolutely. I got a couple of super chats I want to highlight, then I'll throw it over to Grace to get her take on the conversation. Double A with the 199. Can you sign and trade in Major League Baseball? Yes. To a certain degree, it's not like how the NBA is because there's no salary cap, but there's a certain way that you could finagle the system to get away with that. My guy Ace with the $5 super chat says, let me help keep the lights on. I got 5 on it. Shout out to my guy Ace. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the Ace Avenue. You guys are a great channel. Everyone smash that like and hit the subscribe button. Soto was born for the pinstripes. Absolutely ace. And that's the same thing that David Ortiz said. If there was ever a person whose profile is perfect, not only to play for the Yankees, but to play in New York, it will be a guy who's 26 years old, who still lives with his family, who comes from a Christian background, a religious background, a family-oriented background, who cares about baseball more than going out, more than hanging out. Damien, Grace, I want to ask both of you guys. This past season with the Yankees, did we see any photos of Juan Soto hanging out in the clubs?
It's not his thing.
Did we see any photos of Juan Soto late night on the late night scenes hanging out with rappers and No.
We saw more of that out of Jeter than we saw from Soto. Bingo. That says a lot.
Go ahead, Grace. I'll throw it over to you. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
What I wanted to say, piggybacking off of what Damien said, we have already invested so much money into Aaron Judge, right? Juan Soto enhances the investment we've already made in Aaron Judge. He makes Aaron Judge better. Aaron Judge, of course, makes Juan Soto better as well. But I'm talking about enhancing something you've already committed to and making that even better. So you're gaining benefit double, right? Not only are you gaining the Dominican respect and all of the kids who love Juan Soto, no matter what color they are. I mean, all those kids, all that stuff, you're gaining all that as well with Juan Soto, but you're also gaining more from an investment you already have. Bingo. So the duo of Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, okay? I'm talking about Tom Brady and Gronkowski, okay? What happened when they weren't together anymore? I'm talking about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen level. I'm not joking. I'm talking about Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith level duos. Now, what happened to all those careers when they separated? You know, when Emmitt Smith went, I think he went to Arizona. When Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. When Jordan, when they break up, okay, we have history that shows us it ain't the same.
Grace.
It's the duo, and we got to keep Aaron Judge, Juan Soto together. Juan Soto, amazing. Aaron Judge, amazing. Putting them together, forget about it.
Yes, absolutely, Grace. There's when you look at the combination of Juan Soto and Aaron Judge in the middle 2000s and the early 2000s, it was great seeing Gary Sheffield and Alex Rodriguez. Gary Sheffield and Alex Rodriguez in 2004, 2005 can compare to what we got out of Juan Soto and Aaron Judge this past season. And I understand Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs a couple of seasons ago, but I'm a live on the hill and I'm a die on the hill. This past season was his best year as a Major League Baseball player. He had a high in batting average. He was a career low in strikeouts. He had a high in RBIs. His walk rate was through the roof, a high in on-base percentage, a high in OPS. The only thing he didn't match was the 62 home runs he hit a couple of seasons ago. And if he didn't struggle in that first month of the season, he would have blew past the 62 home runs. I want to highlight some more super chats. Shout out to my guy Chris K with the $5 super chat. Judge and Cole are in the primes of their careers. We need to win a World Series soon. Soto gives us the best chance to win a World Series. Absolutely. And I want to piggyback off of that. And shout out to Christian from NYYST, because I saw him put it on the timeline yesterday. And this is something I was having a conversation for the past week. When you look at the ability of Juan Soto, when you look at where this team was prior to Juan Soto, last year when the Yankees traded for Juan Soto, and everybody want to talk about the money and they don't believe the Yankees could re-sign Juan Soto and offer another $300 million contract. When the Yankees traded for Juan Soto last year, knowing that they have to negotiate with Juan Soto in the offseason, they were offering Yamamoto a $320 million contract. So how can we say that if the Yankees sign Juan Soto, they won't go after another player worth $300 million when they showed you in the past that they were willing to do that after trading for Juan Soto?
Not only that, but Hal came out flat out said we're in a better place now than we were last season. And the reason they're in a better place now, and that's not the club, that's not the players they have in hand. That's a better place financially. So the Yankees are in a better place now than they were last season, and it's clear cut. They didn't make the playoffs. They got no playoff TV money. They obviously the fans gave up towards the end of the season, so they weren't getting all the revenue from tickets. Well, ticket sales were ticket sales. It always showed there was like 40,000 people. Meanwhile, you looked in the stands, there may have been 20. So they lost money with revenue all the way around. Come full circle this season, they made that revenue back and some. So they are in a financially better place now than they were the season prior. And that's why the Yankees are over $600 million right now. That's why it's going to be a battle. And I'll say this, if it comes down, obviously we know Cohen's pockets, but if it comes down to $30-40 million and Soto doesn't re-sign with us, then did he really want to become a Yankee? Because $30-40 million, you stretch that out within 12 to 14 years. That's not much. So at that point, you got to question yourself, did you really want to be a Yankee? Because at the end of the day, Soto, you're going to make that up in marketing yourself.
If not more. I
mean,
bro.
He's already doing Celsius now. Do you think if he was on another team, Celsius would have even approached them? Absolutely not.
No.
So at the end of the day, he's going to make that money up in outside money with marketing, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Go ahead, Grace, because there's a few comments that I want to get to. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll wait.
No, go ahead. I'll get to the comments in the section. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, is it possible, or do they do this in negotiations when like what Damien was bringing up? Could you go into a negotiation as, like, say you're Brian Cashman and say, okay, we're going to offer you this, and I have made a phone call to Pepsi. And Pepsi is very interested in having a New York Yankee as the spokesman, and they're talking about a $60 million or whatever. Can you do that?
I don't think that the Yankees can necessarily do that per se in the language
under
of
the
a
table.
Contract.
Under the table? Okay,
Brian Cashman could be like. Yeah, Brian Cashman could be like cough.
Really?
They need a new mascot for Times Square. Cough.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. No, they do that? I'm dead serious.
No. They legally they can't.
Okay.
They can't.
Not in contracts.
They can't offer you anything that's not non-baseball related, right?
Oh,
so
really?
It's just like with the Knicks, right? The owner of the Knicks, James Dolan, he owns a lot of the property that's around MSG when it comes to like the condos and stuff like that. He can't offer a player. You could sign with the Knicks and I offer you 3 condos and a few. You can't do that. And it would be the same thing where you can't offer anything non-basketball or non-baseball related. It has to be strictly with the contract. It violates the Players Association agreement because then it opens it up for like collusion, and it opens it up for owners in big cities to offer other things to players. It's like the Yankees in the 50s. When the Yankees in the 50s used to sign every free agent out there because we used to offer them property on the Grand Concourse and shit like that. That's what the Yankees used to do in the 50s. So you can't do that anymore.
I heard, y'all, this is the most Texas shit I'm about to say right now, but I heard that Rougned Odor was given a couple horses. I'm not even lying.
He was.
See,
He was.
I'm like, well, how is that allowed?
But that's a gift. That's a gift. That's like when the if a player signs with a team and they gift you a horse, they could give you a horse, they could give you a dog, they could give you a car, they could give you transportation back and from the arena. What they can offer you, they can offer you a stipend to pay your utilities and your living expenses that's separate from your they can offer you that, but they can't offer you like property or anything like that. No, that's that violates.
House already got the lifetime platanos and avocado for him. So
so he's
like
good.
Sign
he's
this,
good.
you get your family never has to worry about another platano in your life. So
I want to highlight some super chats that we got. Sco in the chat, SCOE. I don't want to pronounce your name bad.
Of course.
He says Steve Cohen is going to make a good offer too. Yes,
absolutely.
Steve Cohen is going to make a great offer to Juan Soto, right? And this is the thing that I've been telling a lot of my friends that are Met fans. If this was 5 years in the future, and the Mets had that entire casino and apparatus around Citi Field built up, the infrastructure around Citi Field, the ferries that could take you back and forth from Queens to the Bronx. If all of that was built up around Citi Field, we're having a different conversation. But with the way that Citi Field is built, with the way that the Mets are structured when it comes to their finances, Steve Cohen, since taking over the New York Mets, he has been operating in the negative. He has been accumulating debt on his original investment on the New York Mets. This past season, I think Forbes put it out, he added an extra 10% in debt. Now, how it is in business is Steve Cohen is not coming out his own personal finances to pay that debt off. He has set assets aside in the LLC that purchased the New York Mets when he took out that loan. That is accumulating debt, and that is paying off the loan that he took out to purchase the New York Mets. Soon, that debt would have to be paid. It's just like with the Dodgers and their deferred money. That's why I want to talk about the deferred money and stuff like this. Steve Cohen, the individual, the sole person, has more money than any other owner in Major League Baseball. The LA Dodgers, the group that backs them, the Guggenheim Group is a conglomerate of so many different people. They have assets that are valued over $50 billion.
Yeah.
They set aside $8 billion for the LA Dodgers as an operating cost. That's just their operating cost for the LA Dodgers. That's the money that they set aside for the Dodgers. So when that debt has to be paid in 10 years or 15 years, whenever that bill comes up for that deferred money, they're going to have the money to pay that shit off. That's not a problem for them. The problem is other owners in Major League Baseball that are cheap. Owners like the Oakland Athletics, owners like the Tampa Bay Rays, owners like the Kansas City Royals, et cetera, the Pittsburgh Pirates, who is probably the worst. I know everybody talk about the Oakland A's owner. No, the owner for the Pittsburgh Pirate, it is the worst and cheapest owner in Major League Baseball. And now when you talk about the Yankees potentially offering Max Fried deferred money, I like to see it. I love it. I love hearing that, because what this does is the market, right? We live in a capitalistic society. The market dictates what owners do. So when you got the Dodgers willing to defer so much money, now you put the pressures on the other owners to start getting creative. And now if other owners start getting creative and start offering deferred money, then you could be competitive in the marketplace. Teams are trying to be competitive with the LA Dodgers from the top of the organization to the bottom of the organization. Now you add the money aspect into it. I like the whole, I know a lot of people complaining about the Dodgers and defer money. I like it because that means now our owner has to get creative with his money.
I'm just praying, we signed Soto. Even if he deferred $5 to $10 million a season, that's a huge help for the Yankees to sign other players. Max Fried doing the same. The Dodgers, not hating on what they're doing at all. What they did obviously is brilliant. Other teams and owners should have taken notice on that. But the only problem with that situation is now come 2026, when they go and sit down at that table and talk about MLB talks with the MLB Association, my feeling on it is it's going to create a stoppage. And a stoppage because people now, because of the Dodgers, now they want to obviously start to add a salary cap. It'll never happen for the fact of the players don't trust the owners. They don't trust them to fully open up the books, and they're never honest about their true income. So That's my only gripe with it. Other than that, listen, man, absolutely brilliant by the Dodgers. If any other team didn't, should have done it as well. You know what I mean? Can't beat them, join them. Don't hate because we were that. You know, for many, many, many years, the Yankees were signing every player, and everybody said the same thing. We bought our championships, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, listen, they got the money. Put up or shut up. They put it up, so we can't hate on it. They put it up. We can't hate on it.
Yeah, they're taking a big gamble. They're hoping that this gamble that they're investing all this money in gets them championship after championship after champ, so they can get the sponsorship deals. This, that, and third. Go ahead, Grace.
I just thought of something, and I want to say, you know, what the Dodgers are doing. When they first did it, right, it was a shock to the world, and they did it for Shohei Ohtani, who the MLB, Manfred, everybody else has shown that they will allow this man to get away with murder or gambling, if you want to say, allegedly. But they will let him do anything. They love Ohtani so much. They love the money. They love the acclaim. They love whatever. They love him. He's the golden boy right now. And so they did it with Ohtani, and we were like, okay, you know, it's Ohtani. But now they're doing it with Snell, and they're doing it with they're doing it over and
everybody
over.
With everybody they signed.
They're doing it over and over. So now I feel like the Yankees will look at it and say, oh, okay, bet. So it's not just Ohtani and the league is going to look the other way. This is something y'all are doing. Okay, we can play that game too. But I guarantee you, if the Yankees had done it first, if they hadn't done this with Ohtani and the Yankees said, okay, we're going to do all these deferred contracts and we're going to take out credit because we're the New York Yankees. Ain't nobody got better credit than we do. Ain't nobody got the track record that we do. Go into the postseason. We're a good investment. We're going to extend our credit and we're going to start signing all these people deferred contracts. They would not have allowed this to go on. But because Ohtani did it, they let it happen. They opened that door. There's a little crack in the door. Then the Dodgers said, okay, we're going to open the door a little bit more. Now the Yankees are like, bet, watch. We can play that game too. I guarantee you we'll be jumping on the bandwagon either this year or next year before they outlaw it. But if we'd have done it first, they never would have let that happen.
That is a great point, Grace. I want to shout out the chat and everybody that's watching. We have over 520 people watching us collectively.
That like button. Come on,
across
guys.
all platforms. We got over 150 people watching us on YouTube. We're sitting on 80 likes. So if you guys can smack that like button, let's blow past 100. Let's get to 150 likes. Hit the subscribe button. When it comes to subscribers, we are at 4,489. Let's get a 4,500. I know there's some folks in the chat, some folks watching us that aren't subscribed. We can hit 11 subscribes to get to 4,500 on the subscribers. To continue the conversation, talking about the deferred money, right? Damien brings up the point of a potential work stoppage. And I see that argument, Damien, but it wouldn't be from the players. It would be from the other owners in Major League Baseball. So for me, I don't think a work stoppage could potentially happen because the players aren't fighting against deferral money. The players will want the deferral contract so they could get the most money. So what's going to happen is we're going to need the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, Steve Cohen. We're going to need the top owners in Major League Baseball that spend the most to pull their pants up. And we need you to go to war with the other owners. Hold the other owners accountable. Go to war with the other billionaires that you're in business with. It's not fair. I shouldn't say it's not fair. The Yankees shouldn't have to spend money or luxury tax money or luxury penalties because the owner from the Pittsburgh Pirates doesn't want to play his players. And that's what happened. The Yankees paid $150 in luxury tax penalty. $20 million of that was used for the Tampa Bay Rays payroll. $30 million of that was used for Oakland, was used for Pittsburgh, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, these high echelon teams, these high payroll teams. They're subsidizing other billionaires to make money. If we want to complain about other people just living off the government and just not paying, not going to work and just using money to buy whatever, why as baseball fans are we okay with billionaires getting paid from our money because we're buying the jerseys, we're buying the tickets, we're purchasing the streaming deals, we have the cable subscriptions. Why are you okay with our money being used to subsidize other billionaires so they can make more money than we see in a week? Why, as baseball fans, we are okay with that? We shouldn't be okay with that.
In theory, they were supposed to use the money to make their team better, to increase the parity of the league, but they're not doing that. They're pocketing the money, and that's the problem. So
that's
I mean, that's it. Period.
That's where Rob Manfred messed up in the last negotiation, because at that point it should have been okay. And I get why Hal Steinbrenner is upset, because why should I pay another team to lose, right? So that money that's set aside for these teams like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets, so on and so forth, that go above the luxury tax, that's when the books need to be opened. And Rob Manfred says, listen, this money's going to you, and it's not free money. It's not a handout. You need to show that 20-30% of that money is being used towards your team, towards the facilities, towards the minor leagues, towards new players. It has to be shown. The books have to be open. And that's where they messed up with that last collective bargaining agreement.
Agree.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to chat again. We are 3 likes away from 100. We are 5 subscribers away from 4,500. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. We are at 4,495. We are sitting at 97 likes with 141 people, 500 people watching us collectively all together. So I want to talk about the Yankees offseason. Right? Michael Kay came out there and said that the Yankees had a 90-minute Zoom call with Max Fried yesterday, and supposedly it went well. Somebody who's on Max Fried's side of the conversation said Max really liked what the Yankees presented. So I want to ask you guys, when it comes down to the Max Fried situation, and that's why I brought up that's why I brought up Yamamoto alongside of Juan Soto, because if it was up to me, if you're the New York Yankees, if you're trying to show that you mean business, you cannot just sign Juan Soto and stop with Juan Soto. No. You need to sign Juan Soto. You need to sign an extra starting pitcher so you can put behind Garrett Cole, because we need to take some pressure off of Carlos Rodon. Let's be honest. And you need to get yourself an infielder, whether that's a third baseman or whether that's a first baseman. If the Yankees were willing to give Yamamoto a $320 million contract, why can't we offer big money to Max Fried? That's the question I asked both of you guys. Grace, I'll toss it over to you first to get your take, and kick it over to Damien. Folks in the chat, let us know, who would you rather have, Max Fried or Corbin Burns?
I actually mentioned this a couple weeks ago on the pod. I like Max Fried. He has been on my radar this entire offseason. He is the starting pitcher that I would want to add out of everyone, because of his age, because of his World Series success, because of his Gold Gloves, because of his ground ball contact, because of his 7-pitch mix, because of his low ERA. I just think that he is a great value. He's going to cost less than Corbin Burns. He's probably going to sign not as long of a term as Corbin Burns. I think everything is lining up for me. I want Max Fried. I think Carlos Rodon looks a lot better as the 4th starter in the rotation than where he currently is. I think a rotation of Garrett Cole, Luis Gil, Max Fried, and Carlos Rodon. Now we're talking. We got Nestor Cortez there too. Who knows what's going to happen with Marcus Stroman? We also have Clark Schmidt. Now we're really doing something, y'all. We're really doing something. I would love to add Max Fried.
One or the other. My only concern with Fried is obviously his injury past. He does have an injury past. The last probably 2-3 seasons, he has been out with injuries. My only concern with him. Other than that, Max Fried is a dog. Corbin Burns, same thing, but Corbin Burns has showed that he can stay healthy. You know, the best ability is availability, right? Facts. So either one of them would be a godsend to come onto this team. Obviously, Fried is going to cost us less. I wouldn't mind Max Fried. I'll say this though: Max Fried, Corbin Burns, any one of them come to the team, Marcus Stroman will be traded, as well will Nestor Cortez. They both will be gone, because you have to clear money, right? Yeah. Clear that $18 million, even if you had to pay half that contract. That's $9 million you take off the books. You got, Nestor's due for obviously another raise this season. Nestor should be making $7-8 million this coming up year. So you have to clear that money, and no other way to do it than obviously to get you have to get those two off the books. So I would welcome them. Of course, you have Cody Poteet sitting in the wings. You have the other rookie, Lord, forget his name. One of our top prospects came up for a cup of coffee last season.
Will
Started
Warren?
opening, not Will Warren. No,
So
there's no
Hampton?
Will Warren. Well, no, we have Chase Hampton, of course.
Yeah.
Los, where you at, Los?
I know who you're talking about. I see his face. No.
Where you at? He came up in one game, and then we sent him back to the minors. Got a shoulder injury. Came back in the postseason. Can't forget it. I can't. God, we got it from the Dodgers in the Joey Gallo trade. What the hell is his name?
Oh, you talk Beater.
Yes,
Playing Beater.
Jesus Christ.
Beater. I'm trying to help you out. I'm like, who's he talking about?
I know.
Beater. Yeah.
So Clay and Beater. So you got to get rid of Stroman.
Dennis got it in the chat.
Stroman. See you later, Nesta. That's one of my guys. I've always had a bunch of admiration for the kid. But yeah, those two would have to go in order to sign either Corbin or Max Fried or, in that fact, Walker Buehler. So, and again, people are sleeping on Walker. Man, I'll tell you what. The last couple games of that postseason, Walker Buehler looked like Walker Buehler.
Mm-hmm.
And Walker Buehler at his peak, at his best, is better than Max Fried. Hands down, bar none.
There's two guys that I would take a flyer on, right? Walker Buehler is one of them, but also Shane Bieber is another one, right? And
Yes.
Damien, I know you've been somebody that been preaching for Shane Bieber, giving him a chance, low risk, high reward. But I want to look at the baseball reference of both Max Fried and Corbin Burnes. When you look at Max Fried, they're both 30 years old, right? Max Fried for his career, I mean, this past season, he had a 3.25 ERA. He started 29 games. He had a 1.7. He pitched 174.1 innings with 166 strikeouts. When you look at his career, right, he has 4 seasons with over 150 innings. That's a little bit of concerns, like Damien brought it up. He brought up his injury history. But when you look at his ERAs, 3.33 this past year, 3.14, 2.71. Will that translate over into the American League? And when you look at Corbin Burnes, we saw him make that transition this year to the American League with the Baltimore Orioles. And when you look at Corbin Burnes, when you look at his baseball reference for this past season, he pitched 194 innings, 181 strikeouts. He started 32 games, so 3 more games than Max Fried. But on the season for the Baltimore Orioles, 194 innings. Last year, 193. The year before that, 202. The year before that, at 167. So those are 4 seasons of 150 innings, but more innings than Max Fried. And I think Corbin Burnes is built more for the American League. Because he pitched last year with the Baltimore Orioles. He had his struggles. I trust Corbin Burnes more than Max Fried, especially when you look at the history of how much of an innings eater Corbin Burnes has been. And that's something we need behind Garrett Cole, somebody who can eat some innings, who can make the bullpen have a few days off. Because if you have Garrett Cole going 7 innings, if you have a Corbin Burnes going 7 innings, then it's okay for Carlos Rodon to pitch 5 innings. It's okay for Luis Hill to pitch 5 or 6 innings. It's okay for Clark Schmidt to pitch 5 innings and to rely on your bullpen when you have 2 horses at the top of your rotation who can get you 200 innings in a season, like Garrett Cole and like Corbin Burnes. But it's the flip side to it, understanding that, yes, Corbin Burnes has a lot of innings on that arm. He definitely does. He's getting up there in age. He's 30 years old. So whether it's Max Fried or whether it's Corbin Burnes, you go into these negotiations understanding you're paying for the first 3 years to get the most out of those first 3 years. And the last 4 years, they may be the worst version of themselves. So you're just going to have to eat it.
Absolutely.
What worries me about Burnes is the majority of his career has been spent in the Central, and that is very concerning to me. You bring up playing in the AL East and how it's a different game. For lack of a better metaphor, playing in the Central and padding your stats. I'm not trying to be really mean to the Central, but let's just call a spade a spade. It ain't the same. It concerns me. Now, of course, he had a great year last year. Can't take anything away from him. He played on a first place or second place, almost first place team all year in the AL East. And it was a dogfight between the Orioles and the Yankees all year long. And he proved it. He was great. I'm not taking anything away from that. However, that's 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that concerns me. I would rather hedge my bet with somebody who played in the East, in the National League, right? Aren't the Braves in the East?
Yeah, the AL East. Yeah.
So I would rather do that because, it's just a stronger division. It just makes iron sharpens iron, whatever you want to say. But it's like, and I bring this up all the time, y'all, but don't be mad at me. It's because I live in Dallas and I hear this all the time. How Dak Prescott has all these stats and he looks so great and blah, 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 and his completion percentage and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's because the third and fourth quarter, his team is losing so bad that he's playing against second string on the other team and he's padding his stats, okay? Let's be serious. You can't just look at the numbers and say, oh, this is all I'm going off of, No, you got to consider all the other things. And for me, the Central Division gives me concern. It gives me pause.
If nobody knew that Grace was from Dallas, everybody knows now the way that she's complaining about Dak Prescott. Go ahead, Grace, keep cooking.
Well, that's it. I do not want to talk about him.
Oh man. Listen, it's 12:11. We're getting close to that time. We're about to start getting ready to wrap things up. Again, another great conversation. Like I said, make sure you guys are tuned in next week. Next week, I'll be going live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from the winter meetings in the morning and the nighttime. You definitely see Damien there. You definitely see Grace there. Of course, I'll be collaborating with my guy Jason from 161 River Ave. We'll probably go back to some open panels next week for the discussions around the winter meetings. Get ready to tune in. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, on Blue Sky, Uptown Sports TV. We are coming with the exclusive content around the winter meetings. We have over 500 people who have been rocking out with us on all platforms. We appreciate you guys. We have 109 likes on YouTube. If you guys can, smack that like button. We are sitting at 4,502 subscribers. So we appreciate all the new subscribers. If you're new to the channel, drop the new, just put new in the chat and we'll welcome you to the familiar. Damien, last words for the people, because we've missed you, Damien. We've missed you, Damien.
I appreciate
last words for the people, bro.
Man, it's like I said, it's Soto week. Here we come. Marshall Brown, appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
What Lo said, might happen before. Listen, I think there'll be a deal by Saturday. They're not going to announce it till the winter meeting starts. So I think everybody just gear up for Monday, and it's going to start that snowball effect, and MLB is going to get exactly what it wants. Other than that, Soto to the Yankees, anywhere between 615 and 640 million.
Okay. Right.
Not the time. Not the time. Million.
Shout out to Marshall Brown being the new sub. Marshall, welcome to the familiar. Welcome to the squad. Go ahead, Grace.
Y'all, it's so great to have Damien back, squad back together, winter meetings on deck, and Soto signing is happening. Y'all stay tuned. Make sure we will see you soon. Thank you all for tuning in, and for all the new subscribers, welcome. And yeah, let's get Soto and let's figure out something to do with DJ LeMahieu. We're going to have to trade probably Nestor and Stroman. Let's get Cody Bellinger. I almost said Clay Bellinger. That's not the first time I've said that. Cody Bellinger, and we're putting him at first base. We got Durbin at second. Okay, y'all, we're done. Just a couple moves. We're almost there.
Yes. Shout out to chat. Shout out to my guy Joel Rodriguez, a part of Latino Sports. Make sure you guys go to latinosports.com. Check out the website. Save it on your bookmark. It helps us out. My guy Kev NYC was in the building. Rah, que lo que, rah. Hope all is well. Ben Gorilla, how you doing? Appreciate you. Welcome to the fan. Welcome to the squad. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Mark T. Maker, my guy Mark is in the building. Mark, I hope all is well. Haven't seen you in the chat. Hope you've been doing good. Alex Almonte, appreciate you. My brother Ghost, mi hermano de la isla, forever Ghost. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter, follow him on social media. And of course, my brother L.I. Yankee King. The only troll in the Yankee universe I acknowledge is my guy L.I. Yankee King. And
Reed Detmers. Where did Reed Detmers come from?
I know L.I.'s upset because Murakami announced that he's going to be a free agent next offseason, not this offseason.
Where's Warren come from, L.I.?
The Murakami conversation will have to happen next offseason. But again, appreciate you guys like always. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, I'm Hector.
I'm Damien.
I'm Grace Monroe.
It says I'm backstage. I don't know.
No, I see you, bro. You're here.
Okay.
This is Yankees Morning Brew. I'm Hector, Damien, Grace. Until next time, we love you, people. Make sure you drink some water. Say something positive about yourself. Go be nice to some stranger out there in the world. And until next time, deuces. Peace out.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.